What's up guys, Dirk here from Intelligent Cryptocurrency. Today it is Wednesday, it is the 9th of December 2020, and in this video I just want to talk a little bit about the price action, what's happening since we are seeing a bit of a pullback with Bitcoin and obviously in the rest of the other cryptocurrencies too. And I just want to share my thoughts on what I think is happening, how far we can pull back, and kind of what we can expect going forward, looking at some previous past price action and things like that. If you're new to the channel, my name is Dirk, and all you gotta do is click that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to continue to get no BS crypto updates. When you hit that bell, it's completely free. Then as soon as I post a video, you get alerted within YouTube. Now, I also want to share with you, I am on Instagram for Intelligent Cryptocurrency. The link is in the description below. I'm also on Twitter, and we got a completely free Discord chat group where I post news updates of what's happening in the crypto space every single day. It's all completely free to join. The links are in the description below. So right now, Bitcoin is trading at 18,188. So it's pulled back a decent amount. I mean, given that what did we hit? The high here, almost 20,000, right? 19,918. So we're down almost $2,000 from that 20,000 high, almost, which we just didn't hit. I guess that's to be expected with the double top, seeing how far we've run up since March, right? Since the March low of 4,000, we went up pretty much in one go to the 20K. And, you know, there wasn't really a significant correction, some consolidation here and stuff. But, you know, from pretty much this level, from the 10K, we had a straight run up to 20K without any pullbacks. It was just green candle after green candle. So, first of all, you know, corrections are normal in an uptrend. We can go and look at that. But even, you know, previously, if you're looking here at what happened in 2017, we had multiple pullbacks. I'm sure you've seen the charts and things like that. So you can see over here, that was a 41% pullback. Over here, if we're looking here, this was a 39% pullback. If we're looking over here, where we had this red candle over there on the weekly, 26% pullback, right? So even in this massive parabolic run in 2017, you know, 25, 30, 40% pullbacks have been completely normal, and every time it just continued going higher. Now, we didn't see a pullback like that since, you can see, since 10,000, right? Just had green, like I said, and now we've had approximately about a 10% pullback. So if we were to have a 40% pullback, that would be quite significant from the 20K, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just keep in mind, even if that were to happen, you know, we're looking at approximately $12,000 for Bitcoin again, which seems much lower than we'd like to see at this point. But at the same time, there's a lot of people who kind of missed the run up and who didn't have Bitcoin or didn't have as much as they wanted to have. So a drop back to 12K would be very welcome for a lot of people who probably would end up not buying it. They would, you know, most people will be like, I missed the run up. If it ever drops to 15K or 12K, you know, I'm selling the house and I'm going all in Bitcoin. And then when it does end up dropping, well, then they don't buy it because they're like, oh, well, I'll just wait for 10K or 5K or whatever, right? That's just generally market psychology. But for me personally, if it were to drop back to 14, 13, 12, I would be looking at it as a buying opportunity. So, you know, if we do get that, I think I wouldn't mind seeing it, because I do think in the long term, this is going higher than 20K. I mean, just everything points towards it. Like I've said so many times in the other videos, we've got the fiat currency printing, we've got the companies, the billionaires, the institutions, all buying Bitcoin now. So I basically don't see that it's not going to go above 20K at some point. Even if it takes another year or 2 or 3 years, I think at some point it's going to go. If we get those dips, you know, back to 12K or who knows, then for me personally, I would see that as a buying opportunity. Now, one thing to note also is you can see throughout, so these are just some moving averages. The blue one is the 50 exponential moving average, and the red one is the 200 on the weekly chart, right? So you can see, you can play around with this, but basically in the run up, we shouldn't get below this at all, right? Which is currently about 11,570. You can see here, once we start getting below the 50 exponential moving average on weekly, well then, you know, it's already well into the bear trend. And from that point, it still dropped another 50%. So even if we do get a pullback, I don't see this going much lower than 11,500 worst case, which would be just over 40% from that 20K. I guess it is possible. I don't really see it pulling back that far, but maybe a possibility, right? So you always got to be prepared for worst case if it does happen. But again, you want to zoom in on the time frames also and not get too pessimistic about it, because I know there's people already screaming for, okay, that's it, the bull run's over and we're going back down to 3K. Personally, I don't see that happening. Maybe if there's another black swan event, but it is actually just looking like the opposite. We are starting to see like restrictions and lockdowns and stuff being eased from what I see. I don't really see that happening, but I guess that's why it's called a black swan event, because nobody can anticipate it in advance, right? So similar thing, daily chart over here of Bitcoin, similar averages, right? 50 EMA, 200 EMA is the red, and you can see over here, even on the daily, it's mostly stayed above that, right? So on the daily, you can see that average is a lot higher, 16,600, and you can see since the kind of move up from around 10,000, 10,500, the price has stayed above. So sure, it can pull back a little bit. If it were to pull back, 16,500 roughly on this chart is that 50 EMA, so we might be looking at something like that. And if you zoom in a little bit further on the 4-hourly also, it's always interesting to look. So obviously the time frames of the moving averages are different as you change the time frame, right? On 4-hourly, this means it's the exponential moving average of the 4-hour chart. So obviously it's a lot closer to the price action, and you can see for the longest part during this the rally from 10,000, it stayed above there, but we've had these spikes to the 200 also on the 4-hourly, and the 200 is held. So basically, in the short term, I would like to see this 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly hold, which is currently, about 17,450, somewhere around there. If the price of Bitcoin can drop and we can hold this moving average, I would see that as a very, very bullish sign, because you can see we haven't gone below the 200 for a long time now, actually since early October. So pretty much for the last 2 months, we haven't been below it. And if we were to break below it, well, then we might be in for a bit of a deeper and a longer correction. So that's what I'm personally keeping my eye on right now. Let's see what's going to happen if it gets to this level. I think fairly decent chance it is going to get to this level, 17,500, something like that. And let's see if it tends to bottom or base around there. If it does, that would be a good sign. We might be able to enter some longs with a tight stop. If it does end up breaking through, well, you can see over here what happens is, let's see how far that drop was percentage-wise. Once it breaks through, you can see a 13% drop over there. And just time-wise, once it broke through, for it to consolidate, you can see 35 days. So I guess that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. If we do end up breaking below this 200 EMA on the 4-hourly, you can see even if that were to repeat, like a 13% drop from that level would be around maybe the 15K. So a breakdown of that level could be around that. And time-wise, I mean, if that's going to repeat again and we're going to see another 30 days, we could get a deeper sideways correction, until about middle of January. That is completely possible. Now, heading back to the daily chart of Bitcoin over here, I also just want to remind you that Bitcoin did peak on the 17th of December, 2017. Okay, today is the 9th of December. So there's a lot of similarities here. The same level reached, obviously double top, but not only in price, it also seems very much aligned with the calendar, where we're almost exactly 3 months to the day where we're from this all-time high peak in 2017. So remember what happened in December 2017 after Bitcoin peaked, right? After this December 17th, that is when we had the monster altcoin run, where we saw 10, 20, 30, 50, 100x gains in some altcoins in a matter of 3 or 4 weeks. So I don't really believe that things repeat in exactly the same way. It would be very, very strange if it did, but it might be a possibility. And there's always, some similarities. So if we are going to see something here, I'm going to be watching for this. I think there's still a chance that we might actually see a repeat of this altcoin pump, hopefully we do get that. So that means in the next several weeks, we could really start seeing altcoins start to pop, especially if we start getting a bit more of a Bitcoin pullback. Like I just said, if it does break that 200 EMA on the 4-hourly and it does have a pullback to 15, 14, 13, 12,000 and maybe a sideways range for, the next 1 to 2 months, that might really give altcoins a chance to play catch up and to really pop. So again, no guarantee that that is going to happen, but there is a chance and there's similarities, and let's see if that is going to be the case indeed. So heading over to the Bitcoin dominance chart, okay? And again, this is the daily chart over here. So if we go to December 2017, that's when it peaked, right? That was over here, and this is that monster altcoin run that I was talking about from mid-December to about early January. So you can see over here, that date actually, funny enough, was the 9th of December, which was exactly today, 3 years ago, was the peak in Bitcoin dominance. And from there, altcoins really just started to run, right? So could that happen again? I think it is a possibility. We obviously haven't seen this kind of extreme spiking over here, but we have seen a big run in Bitcoin dominance over the past 2-3 months, where Bitcoin has been taking that run and we haven't really seen that drop. So, maybe, is it possible? Maybe could we see something like this? I think it is still a possibility. So keep that in mind, guys. I don't think the Bitcoin bull run is over. We haven't even really gotten started. Okay, there isn't the same level of retail mania and FOMO. I'm not seeing my friends and family and Uber drivers and grocery store staff, talking about Bitcoin or anything like that. And we've seen a bit of an acceleration on the media, and we'll obviously have the institutions coming in and stuff like that, but we haven't seen that crazy FOMO just yet. So I think based on also the previous cycles, looking at the halving, that we're 12 to 18 months out for a peak. We're only still just over 6 months out after the previous halving. So I do think we still have at least 6 to 12 months to go, and next year should be very, very interesting and exciting for Bitcoin and for cryptocurrencies as a whole. And hopefully we're going to get this altcoin season in the next couple weeks. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. Don't get too discouraged. Remember, 30-40% drops even in a bull market are completely the norm. Doesn't mean they're going to happen again. This time they might only be 15 or 20, 25%, who knows, right? If the market drops and there's enough buying pressure, it means the dips aren't going to dip as low as the previous times, because buyers are just going to come in, scoop it up, and push the price back up again. So even though last time there were 30-40% dips, there's no guarantee we're going to get them this time. Don't be surprised if we do get them, but at the same time, we might not go as deep this time. So stay cool, stay calm, keep an eye on those altcoins, never invest more than you can afford to lose. And as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think we have some interesting times ahead, and I think 2021 is going to be very, very exciting. So I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment below with your thoughts. Are we going to get an alt season, yes or no? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button, click the notification bell. It's completely free, and you will continue to get my updates every single time I put one out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.